Hello and welcome everybody. I'm making this video because we've recently added a new testing feature to TwitchConvergence plugin. What this allows you to do is it allows you to test on any events that you've set up in your config YML as if the events actually happened using the Twitch CLI tool. So what the Twitch CLI tool does is it mimics the Twitch API and it can trigger events like if someone follows your stream, the stream goes online, a raid happens, something like that. You can issue a command and it will simulate that event actually happening in stream, so you can go ahead and test your setup before you actually go live with the plugin. So there's a couple of things we're going to need to do to get this set up. First is you need to download and install the Twitch CLI. You can find the information on how to do this at dev.twitch.tv/docs/CLI. There's instructions for Mac OS and Linux, Windows instructions here, or the manual download. Go ahead and set this up, and once it's up and running, you can go ahead to step 2, which I don't believe you have to do, but it's configure the Twitch CLI with your client ID and your client secret. You can get that from your config YML. If we go to our config YML here and open it up, your client ID and your client secret, you can go ahead and set that up, but I don't believe we have to do that to use the WebSocket Events API, which is what the plugin uses. Then once we've done that, we can actually run the Twitch app and start a WebSocket server, which will mimic the WebSocket server that Twitch has. So if we go ahead and go to a new command line here, and we go Twitch event WebSocket start server, you go ahead and issue that, and you'll see that the WebSocket server is started on 127.0.0.1 on port 8080/WS. Now that will work perfectly fine for you if your server and the machine that you're running the Twitch CLI tool are on the same machine. But let's say, for example, your Minecraft server is on a remote hosting service and you're running the Twitch CLI from your local machine here. You're going to have to forward ports to make sure that the remote server can connect into your local machine here and access the Twitch CLI tool. So I'm just going to hit Control-C and stop the server. And I'm going to show you how to set that up. So you're going to log into your router slash firewall. Under mine, it's under basic settings, port forwarding. We're going to add a rule. We're going to call this Twitch CLI. The protocol is going to be TCP. Our port range is going to be 8080 or whatever port you want to use. Private port range is 8080 or whatever port you selected. And then give it the local IP address that you forward the traffic to. So we're going to head and add that as a rule. Now that we forwarded ports, we need to get the IP address of the public IP address of your the machine that the CLI tool is running on. So for me, I go under System Information. My WAN IP address is right here. This is my public IP address. So I go ahead and copy that. And if we go back to our config YML here, under this testing section, we can say enable testing to true. We want to actually do a test, and then change 127.0.0.1 to our public IP address. We're using the same port 8080. We're going to go ahead and save that. Now, when we start the Twitch event WebSocket server start, we're going to provide some additional parameters, --IP. And we're going to set this to 0000. That will say it'll listen on all your IP adapters. So this will actually allow outside incoming connections. And P to specify a port, so 8080 in this case. Or you can leave it blank if you just want the default. So we hit enter there and it says connect the WebSocket server at ws/0000/8080ws. So that's up and running here. We got our thing set up in our config YML. Now all we have to do is go ahead and reload the plugin, TC reload. And I'll say testing enabled, attempting to open the WebSocket connection to this address. And then it will say the connection to the Twitch API has been established. Make sure this connection to Twitch API established message shows up. If it doesn't, you either haven't port forwarded correctly or you're not listening on 0.0.0.0, something to that effect. Just go and double check your settings and make sure that works you want to make sure this connection to Twitch API established is there. So now we've connected to the WebSocket server that's currently running in this window here. Now we can actually simulate some Twitch events happening here. So if you want to know what commands we can write here, if we go to the testing the WebSocket events, dev.twitchtv/docs/cli/websocket-event-commands, so start the server, and then forwarding mock events to clients. You want to go Twitch event trigger channel ban transport WebSocket. So we're going to copy this, and in a new window, we're going to do this. And instead of channel ban, we'll pick another event. So for example, if we go to our config YML, I'm just going to do a search for raid. Commands to run when someone raids the channel. It says say Twitch username raided the channel with however many viewers. And then we're going to execute the play sound event raid horn at the player's location. So this is the event that should trigger when we actually have someone raid the channel. So to simulate that, we can go to this dev.twitchtv/docs/event-sub/event-sub-subscription types. All of these here are different commands that you can send to the Twitch CLI to imitate an event. So if we search for raid, to do channel raid event, it's just channel.raid here. We'll copy that. We'll go here. We'll change this from channel.ban to channel.raid. And then we'll issue this command here. And you see that our commands are actually indeed working correctly. And you can simulate a whole bunch of different events. So for example, we can do channel.follow, for example. Someone follows your channel. Test from user has followed the channel and everyone got 1 emerald. That command's working correctly. Everything's going good there. We can also do, let's do stream online. So we can issue the stream online event. Test process. Stream is started. We can watch the stream at https://twitch.tv/test broadcaster. So this is just a quick and easy way you can simulate any of the events happening in Twitch. You want to make sure that your events are set up correctly before someone actually subscribes or follows or does any of these good things there. You can use this tool to simulate the events and actually test it on your server. Once that's all done and you've got everything set up correctly, just scroll back up to the top here and set your testing enabled back to false, save it, and reload the plugin. Whoops. And everything should go back to normal. Subscribe to the actual Twitch API events, and everything should work the way you want it to. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any more questions or comments, just let me know in the comment section on Spigot. Alright, thanks again. Bye guys.